Okay, let's start with this one. Okay, so don't be confused. This is the old way of giving you the cards in one line, not in n lines. So don't use the new way that we taught you. All right, you need to use the old ways. All right, so how are we going to do this one? For this one here, D is actually, let me save it into another file. Okay, this is F108. Let's save it into another file without covering it. Without covering it in 120. All right, here. So we need to have simply input dot input dot splits. So this is the old way of input. All right. Do you remember this? Because this is just one line, and then we input. One input will be good enough for one line. And then we split it. Split the line into cards. All right? But however, we have three integers here. They are n, k, and p. All right? So here we need to add a p here. And now we want to build another list, like maybe D1 is equal to this thingy right here. So that's the new list. This is the new list that, after cutting the deck. This is the new deck after cutting. Do you know what I'm talking about? Okay, and what we are doing is we need to take P from D1. We need to take the number, the card at P. However, this P start at 1. This P, where is P? P. Right here. Starts with 1 and ends with N. All right, so this is a little bit different with this subscript right here. In Python, the subscript starts with 1, end with N, start with 0. So we need a -1 right here, P -1. So that's the answer. This is the answer to this problem. All right, any question? Also, if you want to, you can actually copy this and paste it here. But I didn't try it, but I believe you need a parenthesis here because you want to add them together and then pick the card. Do you know what I'm talking about? You want to concatenate two lists first before you pick the card. So you need to have this pair of parentheses right here. I didn't try if the answer will go wrong if I don't have this. Let's try it here, all right? Let's try just run module and 635. See if that will give you any error message. See, that's an error. That's an error because this subscript will actually pick a card out of this thing only, out of this thing, okay? Not the whole thing. If you want to pick a card out of the whole thing, you need to have that parenthesis that I was talking about. All right, so let's do that again. And this time we'll give you heart of queen. All right? Any question? So this is the answer to that problem. Simply put a subscript and then they will pick a card out of the stack. Okay? All right. Now let's see the second problem. But second problem, I have showed you that this before, right? Hold on just a second. Someone is asking for me. For this one here, don't be cheated by using splits to split the inputs into 4 numbers. Don't do that. For this problem, you are better off just input the whole thing into 1 string, all right? So for this one here, okay. Let's get a new file. There will be, first there is a n to show you how many lines. And this will be n is equal to nth input, all right? And then for underscore in range n. And the following statement will be repeated for n times, all right? If this n is 1, it will be executed only for 1 time, only for once. And if it's 2, and then we will repeat it 2 times, because there are 2 lines. If that's 4, we need to repeat it for 4 lines, because there's 4. So here, that's S is equal to input, just like this. Just like this. Don't split it. Don't do this. No, don't do this just because there's a space between each 2 numbers. No, don't do that, all right? We just keep it as 1 string. Keep it as 1 string. And then we can just simply judge if S is equal to 0, space 1, 0, 0, space 1. All right. You can just keep doing it. Then print A. And all right. If S is 0, 1, 0, 1 with the space in between, just input it as a whole thing. And then 0, 1, 0, 1 is an A. You just print A. You print A, and then we need this, because if we don't, that means it will put a new line. It will put a new line at the end of each letter. All right? And for this one, it won't be in the same line. It's not going to be in the same line. It will be 1 in each line. So we need to delete. We need to remove the new line at the end of each print. So we need this, all right? Do you know what I'm talking about here? Okay? And then we copy this for 6 times. Oh, sorry, not like this. We copy this for 6 times. And then we change this to B, change this to C, and change this to D and E and, I'm sorry, F. and change this to 0, 1, 1, 1 accordingly. 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0. Just, or maybe if you want to, you can actually copy and paste. And copy and paste. Oops, there's one extra space. Copy and paste. And on exiting the loop, we print. We put a new line at the end. So we will have a new line after the outputs. And this is it. This is the answer to that. Is there any question about this one? No question about this one? No? All right. So this is the answer to this one. And it will be easier for you if you don't split it and just one input, each input, and then decide which letter to put out and repeat it for n times, and that will be it. And add a new line at the end. All right. So this is the answer to the second problem that we had today. All right. So let's save this file to 120. All right. Now we have that. Okay. Now let's check the other, like this one here. All right, this one will be very interesting. How many of you have got this right? Those who have got this right, please raise your hand. All right. To get the score from this one is quite easy. But to write a beautiful code, that would be very interesting. All right? For this one here, like, so 5 is the paper, 2 is the stands for scissors, and 0 stands for the stone, all right, rock, all right? And so now we have A and B from map and, map and inputs dot split. Now we will have A and B, okay? A and B, all right. And then if A is 5 and B is 0, then print when, right? Whoops, what is going on? Whoops, what did I do? All right, okay. Now, again, I'm at it again because I'm going to copy and paste it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, if A have 2 and B have 5, if A has scissors and B have a paper and then have paper and then A also wins, all right? And if A is 0 and B is scissors, and then A will win again, all right? Any question? What about lose? If A has 5 and B has what? Scissors. And then A will lose. And we copy that again. And what else? If A have zeros and B have rock. If A have rock and B have papers, all right? And this deuce, all right? And what is tie? If A is 5 and B is also 5, and then that is tie. Right? Any question? And we copy that again. And this time, if A is 2, B is 2 is tie. If A is 0, B is 0 is tie. All right. So we have all 9 combinations of the possibilities. Okay? Because each one can have 3 possibilities. And 2 will have 9 possibilities. 3 times 3. So we have 9 possibilities, and we list all the 9 possibilities out, and then for each possibility, we will decide if it's a win or it's a lose, or it's a tie. Any question? If you have this, you have 100. Can you do this in 15 minutes or 20? Each test, I usually give you 20 minutes. And then can you do this in 20 minutes? Of course you can. And then you can get 100 out of this, all right? So this is an easy one. But can we do it in a shorter way? This code is actually way too long. Can we do it in a shorter way? Of course, yes. Do you remember that? If it's raining, I will take an umbrella with me. If it's reported to rain, and I will take an umbrella with me. And then we can combine these two together. If it's raining or it's reported to rain, use the or. Do you remember this? Okay. So if A, we do C, and if B, we do C, and then we can combine them all together as if A or B will do C, right? So if this is A and this is C, and if this is B and this is C, can we combine them together? Yes. Actually, we can combine 3 together. This one and this one. Right? Because they are all win. For these 3 possibilities, A will win. All right? Any question? No? And then we can also do this to lose. For these 3 situations, A will lose. All right? And for these 3 situations, they will have a tie. Okay? Is that shorter? Is that better? Okay? All right. I used to have this kind of problem for students, but I used to have 0, 1, and 2 to represent scissors, paper, and rock. Rock, paper, and scissors. I usually use 0, 1, and 2. But it's kind of hard to remember. Which one is 0, which one is rock, which one is scissors, and which number is represents paper. It's kind of hard to remember, right? Until I found someone, there was a problem, use 0 for rock, 2 for scissors, and 5 for papers, and I thought that's clever. It's easier to remember. How? Use your fingers. 5 fingers represents paper, right? And 2 fingers represents scissors, I think. This is smart. However, even though this is smart, it is hard for me to do the conversions. When I have 0, 1, and 2, I just have A and I subtract B from A minus B, and then you will and get the difference of A and B. You will have a pattern. There is a pattern of it. But if you have 0, 2, and 5, and then the pattern is not that clear. Okay, the pattern is not clear. However, it's kind of easy for you to transform, to change 0, 2, 5 to 0, 1, 2. How? It's easy that you can convert 0, 2, 5 to 0, 1, 2. By doing what? No one is listening anymore. No one is listening anymore. By dividing by 2 using double slashes. Do you know what I'm talking about? Okay. Let's do this. If D is A minus, divided by 2 minus B divided by 2. Divided by 2. If you divide it by 2, 0 will still be 0, right? But 2 will be 1, right? Okay? And 5 will be 2. So you will go back to 0, 1, 2 again. Do you know what I'm talking about here? Okay. If that's the case, and then your code will be even easier. We have the whole thing like this one here. All right. Do I want to start it over again? I will start a new line. If D is equal to, all right, what if A is 5? And then divided by 2 will be 2, right? 0 is, B is 0 divided by 2, it will be 0. So what is 2 minus 0? 2, all right. If D is 2, and what about this one here? A is 1, and B is 2. What is 1 minus 2? What is 1 minus 2? There will be negative 1, right? Okay. Or D is minus 1. And what about this one here? A is 0, B is 1. And then what is 0 minus 1? It's still minus 1, right? Negative 1, right? Okay? So, in this case, we can do this. Do you see that? There's a pattern about that, okay? What about this one? 2 minus 1. That's 1. What about this one? 1 minus 0. 1. What about 1 minus 2? Negative 2, all right? Okay, that's... So if D is equal to 1 or D is equal to minus 2, and then A will lose. Is that okay? What about the last one? What about the tie? If D is equal to 0, and then there will be a tie. Is this code easier? No. Shorter? Is this code shorter? All right. I will make it even shorter. By How? How are you going to make it even shorter? All right, let's do it here. R is equal to a list. And the first item of the list, I will see, whoa, 0. 0 is tie. And then I will put tie over here. So R0 is tie. R0 is tie. Do you see that? Okay. And then where is 1? 1 is right here. So R1 will be loose. Okay. And what about 2? 2 is right here. So R2 will be win. R2 will be win. And then I will simply print RD. That's the answer. But you say, you might argue, no. What about -1? -1 is the last one. It's still win. Do you see that? What about -2? -2 is the last one but 1, which is still lose. From the back. You count it from the back. -2 is still lose. Do you see that? So, this is the answer to it. Isn't this beautiful? But you can make it even shorter but uglier. I don't like it. Like this one. If you want to, you can put this one here to replace D. And put this one, use this one to replace R. And you can delete these 2 lines, and then it will become something like this. But I don't really like it because this is kind of long to read. I don't like to read a long statement like that. I actually like it this way better. All right? Any question? Any question about this? So, see, this is an easy problem for you to solve. And if you want to do it beautifully, this is quite beautiful, right? Okay. And maybe we still have time for the next one. We still have 13 minutes. This is a actual APCS problem. APCS problem. So if you have got this right, you get 100 out of the APCS, and then you have the, how do you say that, the grade of 2. And then if you send me a script with the grade of 2, and I will give you at least 80 for this semester, all right? So let's look at this problem that's worth 80 for your semester grade. All right, here. These 4 numbers will add up to 80. And this 4 number will add up to 70. And the third line will add up to this 71. The fourth line will add up to this 69. This is easy. How? How is that easy? Let's do that. How's that easy? Okay, let's have, okay, let's have, the first line is for the home team, right? The first one, okay. The first line will be home team, all right? Home team, home 1 will be equal to sum map int input dot split. All right. See, input the whole line and split it into strings and then convert them into integers and then add them all up by using the functional sum. And what about the second line? The same. Oh, whoops, I'm sorry. One, two, three, four. So there will be guest 1 and home 2 and guest 2. Is that right? And then we'll simply print out. We'll simply print home 1 and guest 1 and separate it by a colon. Do you see that? Okay. And the second line, we'll copy that again and change it to home 2 and guest 2. So it's done. And what about you need to decide if it's win or tie or lose. And we need to use if. If H1 is greater than G1, also H2 is greater than G2. That means the home team win both games. Win 2 games, right? And then print out win. And you need to use elif here. Elif. I'm sorry. Elif. If H1 is less than G1 and H2 is less than G2, that means the home team lost both of the games. 2 games. Lost the 2 games. Both of the games. And then we'll print out tie. I mean, lose, I'm sorry, lose. All right? And if it doesn't win, and it doesn't lose, and then we'll print out what? Tie. And this is the answer to it. This is the answer to that problem. Is this problem hard? No, and it's worth 100. And then if you have finished this one in the APCS exam and then bring the scripts to me, and then I will give you your semester grade. Your semester grade will be at least 80. See, that's an easy, right? That's very easy, right? Any question? And did we learn about the list comprehension? Did I just taught you list comprehension? Can we make this one shorter by using the list comprehension? Yes, you can. By how? For underscore in range 4. And then this will repeat 4 times, right? And it'll give you 4 lines, and it'll give you 4 numbers, and the 4 numbers will be what? H1, G1, H2, G2. And that's even shorter. Do you see that? So that's how you use the list comprehension. Any question? All right? Okay, if you don't have any question, we have reviewed the 4 problems of the 2 tests.